going on, everybody? It is your college casual host, GZTV, back with another video, and here we are with another sports recap. We've been doing a lot of sports videos recently. I might go over some of the NFL free agency stuff tomorrow. I'm just expanding my horizons. I have a Twitch stream going on right now on 2K, so after this stream, if you guys want to go watch me play for a little bit, I'm going to be grinding a lot of XP, so that's going to be nice. But let's get into the games. My bracket's destroyed. I have like 2 teams in my Elite 8 getting eliminated in the first round. But let's look at one Final Four team getting eliminated, Kentucky. Let's look at Loyola Chicago and Ohio State. Ohio State puts the clamps on Loyola Chicago, ironically, because Loyola Chicago is known to be a really good defensive team, and a 13-point NCAA win. Now, I picked Loyola Chicago. R.I.P. Sister Dean, not because she died, but she's a fan of the team. She's been a long time. I think she might have been an alumni or something. She has like a deep connection with Loyola Chicago, but not a good game for Loyola. But the beast, the man himself, E.J. Liddell for Ohio State, coming out and putting up 16 and 10. I mean, 14 points for Branham, to be fair. I mean, Norris on the other end put up 14. I guess if you put up 10 points or more in college, it's somewhat impressive. College is very slow-paced compared to the NBA. There's a lot of defense being played, so the standards are obviously different statistically. Next, we're going to Jacksonville State and Auburn. Smith leads Auburn to their 10th straight NCAA opening win. That's a really big accomplishment for that school. They were a really good football school, and now they're a good basketball school. They've been a good basketball school. They won by 19. 20 points for Gibbs. 17 for Finch on Jacksonville State. Are they like an HBCU? I want to say they are, but I don't know. They might just be a small college. Let's see. Auburn. Kessler put up 13 and 10. He's that guy that averages like 5 freaking blocks a game. I'm pretty sure that's the guy. He's 7'1", 245. I mean, he's going to be pretty decent in the NBA. His mobility's a little eh. He doesn't shoot a lot, but he's going to be pretty solid in the NBA. He kind of has like a Rudy Gobert build. He reminds me of Rudy Gobert. He might kind of play like him in the league. 13 and 10, 20 and 14 for Smith. Great game. 10 points for Flanagan and Johnson each. I mean, that's about it for the game. If they have double-digit scoring, I'll mention their name, I guess. Montana State and Texas Tech. Holy shit, what a statement win. I mean, obviously it's a 3 versus a 14, but we had some 3 versus 14s that actually struggled today. So seeing Texas Tech win this game was by that much, wow. Texas Tech overwhelms Montana State by 35 in the NCAA's first round. And by the way, I'm very hyped. Tomorrow we start second round play. There's going to be some incredible games on. You guys don't want to miss it. I will be reporting all the games. What's Caleb got to say? I texted him. He said, "Damn, Colgate, give it up," because the coach. We'll get to that game, but the coach kept calling timeouts and stuff. Oh my God, we might win that. Like, no, you're down by 7 with like 13 seconds left. Bishop was the lone good scorer for Montana State. Weird school name. It's not even the University of Montana. It's Montana State. Texas Tech had O'Banner. I think I've heard of O'Banner. I think he's been there for a little bit. He put up 10 and 11, 20 for Williams, 20 for Shannon. I mean, this was damn near an NBA level performance on the scoring end for this team, for this school. 10 points for McCullough, 15 for Arms, 10 for Warren, and just an overall great game. That's a good performance for a 3rd seed. This looks like what a 1-16. If a 1-16 matchup went how it was supposed to go, this is what the box score would look like. Yale and Purdue, another 3-14 demolition, freaking destroying Yale, the Ivy League school. Again, like I said, I can't see an Ivy League school winning a tournament game. Ivy scores. Speaking of Ivy scores 22 as Purdue beats Yale by 22 in the NCAA tourney. Yale had Swain put up 18, but that's literally it. Looking at Purdue, you had 22 for Ivy, 16 for Eddie, 10 points for First, 10 rebounds for Williams, and those are just the notable performers for Purdue's side. Not getting into any like good games yet. All have been double digits. Very, very big like point differential. I think it's like the most point differential. The game's average to be like 15-point differentials, which is ridiculous. But looking at Delaware and Villanova, another dog shit game. I didn't even watch this game. Villanova breezes past Delaware by 20 in the NCAA first round. For Delaware, you had Carr put up 13, Davis put up 17, Villanova, Dixon put up 13, Samuels put up 15, Moore put up 21, Colin Gillespie, one of the best players in college basketball, put up 14. That's substantial for sure to get the win. I mean, you're playing a 15 seed, which there's double standards to that. You know, Kentucky lost to St. Peter's, but still. Gillespie put up 14. Daniels put up 13 off the bench. So, geez, 30 minutes off the bench. I guess he's their sixth man. Miami and USC, I called it, baby. Upset alert. This is the first upset of the day. Moore's foul shots lift Miami to a 2-point NCAA win over the Trojans. And, like, people wouldn't say this is a huge upset. 7-10 isn't a big upset. But look, like, Davidson against Michigan State. If Davidson would have won, people would have been in an uproar compared to this game. Because Miami's like a big-name college, you know, for a lot of sports. Obviously, this sport as well. They had a couple guys at this sport. But I think they had Jimmy Graham at one point, the NFL star play, the tight end. I think this is still shocking because USC is a team that a good amount of people had winning a couple more games in the tournament, at least one other game. But Miami, they were led by Isaiah Wong. He had 22. 16 for Moore, 12 by McGusty. That's a funny last name. And for USC, 11 for Isaiah Mobley. I didn't see him playing. I wasn't really paying attention to his play. But Goodwin had 10, Peterson had 17. Dixon Watson, I think is his name, off the bench. Dixon Waters off the bench had 16. So those are kind of your big scores for that game. Congratulations to Miami. I'll have more analysis as the rounds move on, but now it's the first round. It's kind of like we're setting up the team's potentials for the rest of the tournament. And I wish they allowed you to make a bracket after the first round. It's like it'd be so much easier than just starting from scratch and not knowing what each teams have been doing recently. I mean, I watched the conference tournaments and stuff, but yeah. Notre Dame and Alabama. There was actually a guy on my bracket prediction video that was a Notre Dame fan. So shout out to you. Go back to that bracket prediction video and flame the fuck out of me if you want. That'd be hilarious. Just flame me if you want. Notre Dame keeps rolling, beats Alabama by 14 in the first round. Another upset. I guess it's not a huge upset because Notre Dame plays some great teams. I don't know how Alabama got a 6th seed. I don't know. That's interesting. Notre Dame played really well, though. You had 13 from Atkinson Jr., 18 for Wesley. Obviously, Ryan with 29 points. One of the better performances of the day. Lazewski had 10 off the bench. Looking at the Alabama side, you had 16 for Ellis, 13 for Shackelford, 10 for Gary, and 11 for Davidson. Those two guys came off the bench. Played pretty well. Virginia Tech and Texas. Virginia Tech was getting beat pretty badly for a while, but they kept it kind of close. Virginia Tech was a big, like, Cinderella story team for me because they beat Duke, and I thought they would have taken it from there, but no. Obviously, Texas came in for the kill. Looking at Virginia Tech, you had 15 from Aluma. I think I've heard of Aluma. 12 for Couture, and 19 for Padula. Looking at Texas, though, Texas played great. 14 for Allen. 11 for Bishop, 10 for Ramsey, 15 for Carr, and 21 for Jones. Jones played great. Shot 5 for 7 from 3, 7 for 11 from the field. So that's good. Shout out to Texas. You avoid an upset. Chattanooga and Illinois. Speaking of avoiding upsets, my goodness, Chattanooga almost pulled this off. And what is his name? Terrell Owens? Is that the guy that, or was it Ocho Cinco? I don't remember. Some NFL players, like an alumni of the school, and they were in attendance. But Plummer's late free throws lift Illini by Chattanooga by 1 point. I don't know how this is looking for Illinois for the rest of the bracket. I think Houston might take them down in the round of 32, which I think was what I had in my original bracket anyways. But now this is ensuring that that's going to happen. I'll go through every second round matchup after this and give you guys my predictions. But for Chattanooga, he had 13 rebounds for Banks, pretty solid. 12 points for Smith. That's about all you're going to get out of them. It was a very scrappy ball game. 10 points for Hawkins. Hawkins made some big defensive plays at the end of the game. He was kind of heated. He kind of drew some silly fouls. Kind of those fouls like in 2K when someone steals the ball from you and you like reach in to spam. Kofi Coburn. I'm not going to say his actual name because it's kind of weird. He had 17 and 13. of Illinois fans do not like their coach. I don't remember the guy's full name, but a lot of Illinois fans don't like the coach, and because he was hating on Cockburn's. I'll just say Cockburn. I don't care. Never mind. He was hating on Cockburn's game. 6 for 12 from the field, and there's guys hounding on him. Like there's guys like jumping on top of him and stuff. Whatever. 15 points for Alonzo Plummer. 3 for 8 from 3, which isn't terrible, but like if you watch the games, he was kind of just chucking them up at one point. He kind of struggled there. This is the game I'm talking about a lot because I actually watched a good amount of this game. Matter of fact, I think I watched like the whole game because a lot of my friends are Illini fans. So there's that. Duke, here we go, Coach K. This is the last dance if I've ever fucking seen one. Coach K on his last dance. Duke, man, this is awesome. Duke tops Cal State Fullerton to open Coach K's last NCAAs, and they won by 17, which is pretty damn good. But looking at Fullerton, Lee had 10, Anozike had 10 and 10, Milstead had 12, and off the bench, Harris had 10. Looking at the other side, Paulo Banchero is going to be a decent star in this tournament. He had 17 and 10. You had 13 from Wendell Moore. He's been there for a couple years. Griffin had 10. Williams had 15. Roach had 12. And that's pretty much that game. Shout out to Coach K for continuing his last dance. Let's move on to Wright State in Arizona. Again, another number one seed taking care of business. Coloco and Arizona overpower Wright State in the NCAA first round. But look at Wright State. I mean, they played pretty damn solid for a 16 seed, if I will say so myself. 21 points for Bazille, 12 for Holden, 16 for Calvin, 15 for Fink. Looking at Arizona, I do like Coloco. I think he has a pretty decent future. He might go to the NBA. Benedict Mathurin played pretty good as well. 13 for Tubulus. They have all sorts of foreign guys. I mean, their recruitment program is insane, which is why I picked them to win. They're built different. I mean, 13 for Tubulus, 17 and 13 for Coloco, 18 for Mathurin, 16 for Terry, 11 for Larson. I mean, very good game there for Arizona. Moving on to Iowa State and LSU. Shout out to my Iowa State alumni in the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton, Monte Morris, THT, Matt Thomas, I think. They were talking shit on Iowa, and to add fuel to the fire, they upset number 6 LSU, which is the team I had going to the Elite 8. Thank you, Iowa State. You knocked out an Elite 8 team in my bracket. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but you did it. Looking at Iowa State, you had Hunter putting up 23. Isaiah Brockington's actually a pretty solid player. His dad was pretty decent. I don't know if he went pro, but he was really good in his conference in college. I don't remember what college it was, but Brockington anyways put up 19. Looking at LSU, you had 14 and 12 for Days and 18 for Eason. Not a good game at all for LSU. Probably one of their worst games of the year, and it happened in the first round of the tournament. So, yeah. Davidson and Michigan State. Here's the near upset that happened. Michigan State survives, edges Davidson by 1 in the NCAAs. Like, there's this freaking Asian guy. I'm not sure what his first and last name is. I'm trying to find him here. His name, Hyung Lee. Hyung Jung Lee. He had 11. A lot of people were liking him in the crowd. His mother was in attendance. That was pretty funny. A lot of support. But Meninga had 15 for Davidson. Brashkovic had 18. I mean, honestly, these guys probably have no future in the NBA because the only really good NBA player that has gone through Davidson's program is Steph Curry. Lee had 11. Lawyer had 12. They played good, though. I mean, looking at Michigan State, 12 for Brown, 27 for Hauser. Does this guy have... Joey Hauser, okay. Senior, man. Is he going to the NBA? I don't know. 14 for Hoggard. That's going to do it. That sounds like a freaking Harry Potter thing. That's pretty funny. Hogwarts. Let's talk about UAB and Houston. Houston as a 5th seed, they're getting it done. They're not letting UAB upset them. But looking at UAB, you had Buffin with 10 and 11, Walker with 17, Ertel with 13, and Loven with 14. Looking at Houston played a damn good game. White Jr. had 14, Carlton had 12, Sheed had 12, and Edwards with 25. Putting up 25 in a tournament game, that's ridiculous. Think about it as putting up 35 to 40 points in an NBA playoff game. That's kind of the standard we're talking about here. you know. But let's just move on from there. I don't have a lot to talk about in that game. TCU and Seton Hall, we have 2 more games, counting this one. I called it TC freaking U. This has got to be the biggest margin of victory of a 9 and 8 seed I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen a 9 seed stomp an 8 seed this bad, but I called TCU winning. TCU gets their first NCAA win since 1987. That's an interesting stat and possibly the best stat of the day with the root of Seton Hall. TCU's having a great year, man. They might make a big run, honestly. They have a 1 seed to play next, though. That's tough. The 8 and 9 seeds, that sucks, man. But 10 for Miller, 21 for Miles. Great game for him, and 14 for Bow. Looking at Seton Hall, you had 11 from Kale and 11 from Harris off the bench. That's really it. They didn't play that good. They got freaking swamped in the first round as an 8th seed. That's kind of ridiculous. Let's move on to Colgate and Wisconsin. An upset that somewhat almost happened, but not really almost happened. Yeah, this game just ended. Wisconsin played damn good. Colgate played good too. I mean, 15 for Richardson, 20 for Cummings. Cummings, 20. Great. Looking at Wisconsin, we had Wall with 15. We had, what's this guy's name? Johnny Davis. He might be NBA bound. He had 25, and he's on a Wisconsin team. That's amazing. So he might be NBA bound. There's definitely NBA scouts out there. But that's going to do it. Just leave a like, comment, subscribe. I mean, that's all I have for the night for my YouTube channel. Come back for tomorrow. We'll be talking about NFL free agency. We'll obviously do an NBA recap stream with the 4 games that happen tomorrow. And let me check real quick how many college games are in the second round tomorrow. 8? Yeah, it's pretty exciting games. So I'm gonna have to wake up at like 11 so I can watch the games. Yeah, I'm gonna wake up at like 11 tomorrow. So, also got to do some fucking homework while